Hi second graders, we have our Monday math video for you today, and this week we are going to be working on subtracting. So last week we did all of our addition strategies. For an entire week we talked about how to add numbers that are 2 digits, and this week we're going to spend the whole week just talking about subtracting 2-digit numbers before it gets a little bit more difficult in the coming weeks. So we're going to be using these strategies so that you can find one that you like. If you have manipulatives or math tools, we've been calling them, at home, like tens and ones rods, you're welcome to continue using them. But for today's lesson, we're actually going to show you how to manage your time a little bit more easily by just drawing the tens and ones on your paper, and that might take a little bit less time for you, and it might be a little bit easier. If you take a look at our worksheet, we're going to be on the Monday math page that says subtracting tens. It says 7-1 reteaching at the top. And I'm actually going to be skipping this whole top section. You're welcome to look back over it with a grown-up at home if you want. But for our video, we are going to be taking a look at the questions just at the bottom of this page. So today we are talking about subtracting the tens only. And I think we might need some markers here. So how about one for Mrs. Grant? And then maybe a blue one. Yeah, I got another black one. There we go. All right, we're ready. So let's take a look at the very first problem. Number 1 says 64 minus 30. Now let's see what they did in the picture. They went ahead and they drew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens rods. Now those 6 tens rods are going to be coming from the 6 in the number 64. They also drew 1, 2, 3, 4 ones cubes, and of course that's from the 4 in the number 64. Mrs. Grant, why didn't they draw the number 30?
Yeah, you know, I was wondering that because last week we taught the kids to draw a model of both numbers in the problem.
Yeah.
But that's when we were adding. And when we subtract, we get smaller, so we take something away. So they're going to be crossing things out and getting rid of something instead of adding.
That makes sense, and that's probably why there's some X's on the picture. Okay, so this week we're only going to be drawing the first number, and we're going to be crossing off or taking away the second number. All right, so the number that we're subtracting is 30, and I know that 30 is really 3 groups of 10. And so we're going to go through and we're going to cross off those 3 groups of 10. If you're doing this with manipulatives or tools at home, you can just take them away and put them aside. And we're only going to count what we have left over. So Mrs. Grant, can you help us and figure out our answer?
Sure, since you crossed out those, I'm only going to count what you didn't cross out. So I have 10, 20, 30 for my tens rods, 31, 32, 33, 34.
Awesome. So we're going to write 34 as our answer over here. Now remember, this is one strategy that you can use in order to get your answer in subtraction. You can draw the picture and cross off what you don't need, or you can be using those math tools at home. Mrs. Grant, this is the same problem. Could you walk us through another way to get the answer?
Absolutely. So this is a different version where they have our problem written here just the same, 64 minus 30. However, they're going to start with the first number 64, and then they're going to be counting down a group of 10 each time we get to a new blank. So if I'm taking off a total of 30, I'm going to go down 10, go down another group of 10, go down a third group of 10.
That makes sense.
So in your head, if you have 64 in your head, and I take away one group of 10, where would I be?
So if you're only taking away 10, you're going to have 54.
Yeah.
Because the ones don't change.
Nope. And then if I take another group of 10 away, but I leave the 4 here, what would I have?
Then you're going to have 44.
44. And one final group of 10 would give me what?
I'm noticing that pattern. 6, 5, 4. So you're going to have 34 at the end.
And that 4 in the ones place has not changed at all. So that is our answer, 34, which if you look at the problem you did over there is the same. So 2 different strategies that will get you to the same answer.
That's pretty cool. And they can just choose the strategy that works best for them for the rest of this assignment.
Yeah.
But I think we should do a couple more.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a look at number 2. We have the problem 62 minus 40, and I really want to draw that picture of the tens rods because that's easiest for me. So I remember doing the problem up here where we only draw the first number. So I have a 6 in the tens place. I'm going to draw 6 tens rods, and I like to just draw straight lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I have 2 1s. I'm going to draw little X's. That's easiest for me. All right, so I represented the number 62 by drawing 6 tens and 2 1s, and now I need to subtract or take away 40. I know that 40 is 4 tens that I'm getting rid of, so I'm going to put an X on 4 of these. So get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm only going to be counting what is left. And for students at home, if you even wanted to erase those on your paper, or if you were using tools and again you want to move them to the side, you can. So I'm going to count my answer. I have 10, 20, 21, 22 is my final answer. 22.
Sweet.
All right, would you like to do a problem with them?
I would love to do a problem with you guys. So as Ms. Marquardt said, don't worry about this 3 here, it's just number 3. We don't want to get that confused. It's not 376, it's just 76. So we want to draw a model to represent our first number, which is 76. So I have 7 in the tens place, which is 7 groups of 10 or 7 tens rods. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I also have to draw and represent my 1s. Now I'm going to give you an alternative method to Ms. Marquardt's if all of the X's on your page get confusing for you. Maybe you want to draw circles instead since you're going to be crossing out your tens rods, and just in your head that works better. That's fine. You could draw little squares, you could draw circles, you could draw hearts. We don't care as long as whatever works best for you. I'm going to use circles just to show you another method. So I'm going to draw my 1s, and I'm going to draw 6 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that I have my entire first number represented, I am going to be able to do my subtraction now. And in my subtraction number, I'm not taking away any 1s, I'm just taking away a couple groups of 10s. And for 20, that's 2 groups of 10s or 2 tens rods. So I'm going to cross out 2 of my tens rods, get rid of that one, get rid of that one. Now I'm able to count up what I have left, and that's my answer. So, counting up my tens rods that I did not cross off, I'm going to skip count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I like to draw my number as I go because it just helps me not to forget it.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah. Then I'm going to count my 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that number did not change. So, both of those methods, no matter how you end up drawing your 1s, you will get the same answer, just whatever ends up working for you. But being able to show your model and represent it and show us that you're crossing out the correct number of tens rods is really helpful to Ms. Marquardt and I when we're grading your packet, and we can see that you're doing the work right. So yeah, I know some of you are going to use manipulatives and stuff, but it is super helpful for us when you draw it on the page, so we can see if you're getting the wrong answer, where are you messing up, so we can help you.
Yeah.
A bit more.
So definitely, let's at least try to draw those pictures on your problems so that we know how you're doing. And eventually in the next couple weeks, we'll be teaching you other strategies and you can pick what you would like to do. So for today, let's try to use the strategy that we taught you. And I think they're going to do a great job.
Yeah.
Now, just before we end our video, there's 2 more problems on this page that we want you to complete. And the back side actually looks very similar to the front. It's just more problems that you need to practice. But I think they can do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Good luck.